I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right.
Is Tiff on?
I don't know.
No? Okay. I think I got fair this week, so.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Okay.
My two-step business.
I haven't heard anything from her though either, so it's just surprising. Okay, thank you for everyone for being here. We're gonna move right along. We do have a guest tonight. Tyler Bush from the Country's here. He's gonna be filling us in here in a little bit. So with that, we'll go on to correspondence and public participation. This is the point in the meeting for comments on matters not already on the agenda. Comments and agenda items will be accepted when that item comes up during the meeting. Interested persons may also submit views in written form to the clerk or superintendent prior to the meetings. Those comments will be brought to the attention of the board during the meeting. Do we have any correspondence or public participation?
I do. So I just wanted to mention the Pineview obsolete list that was already approved with a sale date of July 8th. Publication did not happen and it was not advertised, and which is probably a good thing because we wouldn't have had anybody show up. So we rescheduled for August 4th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. I just wanted to get it kind of on the books and in the minutes, and then hopefully we can advertise outside of the newspaper as well. So hopefully get some people to come. So.
Okay. All right. 6.01 consent agenda.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay, a motion and a second. With that, I'll move to the vote. Francis.
Aye.
Sabrina.
Aye.
Barb.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. 7.01 board agenda and governance calendar.
Handbooks.
They're in process, I promise.
And we decided to do them all at once instead of like, there's some that are done, rather than bring one or two here and there.
Okay. Possibly that August.
Yeah,
We don't have a second July meeting.
no, so it'll be August, like 8th. And then Rich was, I think this was spring hires. Look. Yeah, spring extracurricular hires. I don't know if Rich has some things that he's waiting on.
Sure, so I talked to the head golf coach and the middle school head track coach about coaching next year. They both said they wanted a couple months to think about it before they told me yes or no. And we're looking for a head track coach at the high school.
Okay. Oh, okay, for spring ones. Okay. With that, we have no old business. And Tyler,
Sir,
you're up.
I forwarded just a couple slides in our presentation. I don't know if it's easier. You can make that bigger, slideshow. You guys see okay? Yep, so next slide. This is just, again, a summary of the different scope items related to the sports complex, Pine Butte Elementary. Items that are highlighted in yellow there are items that we plan to execute during the next summer season. The big item that is there is the electrical service system upgrades associated with Pine Butte Elementary as well as Colstrip High School. There are long lead items. We'll finalize the design for that equipment replacement, but we'll be executing that work next summer. The other ones that there at Pine Butte, again, are some of the improvements associated with some of the screening associated with the windows, and then there's some electrical intercom upgrades that will also happen in Pine Butte. That'll happen in the next cycle during the next summer session. Everything that's not highlighted in yellow are things that are actively that we're working on. So we've got the boys and girls restroom renovations. We'll show you a couple pictures. We have the auditorium seating and finishes improvements that is actively underway. We've got our playground equipment and drainage improvements associated with Pine Butte. as well as the student drop-off and traffic circulation. And then at the sports complex, obviously the new turf field, the new running track, new bleachers, concession stands, and restrooms, and then track and field storage. And so we'll touch base on all those items that aren't highlighted yellow. So if you go to the next slide. So I don't know if you guys have looked into your auditorium, but that's the current state of your auditorium. So all of the existing seating has been removed. There's the kind of, week by week status there on the left. So we removed those, starting, I guess, last Monday, and they were done by Thursday. We've got material ship date of 8/3 with an install starting on 8/10. I know that you guys in the past have utilized the auditorium for training for teachers during orientations. I'm trying to beat that date, but I would suggest you have an alternate location to do so if that's okay. I think we'll be there, but I'm just I put an asterisk by that saying, if you guys could move that orientation to another location, it allows me to finish in a timely manner. I wouldn't want to interrupt your meetings with guys trying to, drill in or rattle in some seating, et cetera. So that's where those items are at. All things, the colors and the seatings have all been, selected, and they're supposed to ship here on August 3rd with arrival and install starting on August 10th. Questions on that one?
Is that carpet going to be changed?
It will eventually be changed. I didn't want to change it. Kind of gives me the spot, so we'll change that as well as some of the other finishes to match the color palette. We have new curtains that are on site that will be installed in that same timeline as well.
And then are we doing the back part of the auditorium too?
Yeah, 100%. So I didn't have a picture in there, but those have all been removed as well.
Okay.
I've got another, but I didn't put it in there for that picture, but yes. Cool. I think it's over 555. I can't remember the exact number of seats that are involved. I think there's 384 in the lower auditorium, and then in the upper two classrooms that can be compartmentalized. I think it raises the total to over 500 plus.
Okay. Cool.
Next slide. One second, sorry. So bathroom install, so everything has been torn out. We've demoed the existing walls, hand dug, saw cut concrete, hand dug all of the under slab rough-in. So you can see there those PVC with that red tape. All the under slab rough-in has been complete. We've got our walls standing now, so we're in the process of doing our in-wall rough-in and setting all the new carriers. That's what's in progress. As soon as we have those carriers, I think we would be complete, not at the end of this week, but definitely next, and we'll start to button up those walls and start to enclose it and doing the wall finishes. And that's both simultaneously, both are about the same progress. So that's the girls and the boys on both sides there of that. One closest to the gym, one closest to the cafeteria. Slide. Sports complex. So ran into some issues associated with soil stabilization and water. Basically, those spring storms that we got pushed us back, and we didn't meet our compaction testing. So what's on there is an updated schedule of progression. And so when I didn't execute per our original schedule because of the weather and the subsoil, I lost my concrete crews. So the guy that's up there right now is on the bulldozer, is finalizing the layer of sand that goes underneath our post-tension track. We need to set our post-tension track to set our edge for our field. That is the updated schedule that I have from Field Turf. So for Mr. Looking for our athletic, our first game is going to be in question. So I know that you have our hosting Townsend, I think.
28th.
28th. That is a game that's in question. So if there's a spot, I have no doubt we'll be close on the turf. We will not be close on the track, but we will have concrete poured, but we'll be waiting for a cure time. So in the best case scenario, I'm done with the turf, and then we would just cross over the track with stable mats or something for the kids coming through the tunnel. but the track won't be done because of my cure time. And so I need to pour my concrete, let it cure, put it under post tension, and then apply my surface to it. And so right now, that game is in question. I feel confident on the stands, the concessions building, and the storage building. Don't have any questions on that. But the playing surface, will be close. We're getting tight now that I'm kind of giving a warning order that says, hey, if we can make an adjustment to that game, but I think the subsequent games, we should be okay.
Saw the Townsend AD at the Class B meeting we had at Big Sky, told him that we thought we'd be able to play it here, and he was just like, just let them know, we'll figure something out, so.
That might be a good one to meet halfway anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a long drive.
Just, sorry to interrupt, but what you see, so the picture here is you can see here, everything to the right obviously is the new track surface. So we have a layer of sand that'll be underneath our concrete. What is right there in that first 3 feet of gravel that's all of the base under the turf is a perimeter drainage system. So all those existing storm drains that were there are basically now tied in. And so we have an existing loop that goes around the perimeter of the track. There'll be a 1% grade slope from the outside lane to the inside lane, so that we don't want to, we kind of have an apex where we want the track to take its water, and then we want the grandstands and the storage to take that. So that joint will actually be a 1% grade, will be the top of the roof or the apex of the roof, but that'll be the seam that goes down there. All that water that's on the track will then go into that subsurface drainage system that is installed in filter fabric and wrapped. Next slide. Concessions and storage building, you can see there. So on the left is the concessions and the toilet rooms. The building on the right with the steel studs is the storage building. If you would, Peyton, could you go back or slide back? I mean, you can kind of see here, go back to that original rendering. It kind of ties everything in. I wanted to show, go back all the way to that first page. So right there, if you look, that angle that I took that photo, if you look in the far right, just above the track in the artificial turf, that's the building. And so you see the low profile of the concession stand, and then you see the higher profile of the building of the storage building. So just wanted to point that out, that we're matching the rendering. So next slide. Pine Butte. Pine Butte, the guys came in, been killing it. Our playground is basically installed. We have one more piece of equipment. I think there's an additional Gaga pit that got ordered. There's all the engineered wood fiber, EWF there is on the left, as well as the perimeter of, that puts the boundary for that engineered wood fiber. There was a couple of items that we just made a command decision of a couple of pieces of equipment that we left because they were, one, they matched in color, and two, they were at the edge of our boundary anyway. So some of those monkey bars that would be on the far east of the playground, those were part of the original that we're just going to tie in. We'll put down and excavate and put in the engineered wood fiber and add the perimeter, just kind of keep that and make the playground a little bit bigger than what was originally intended. Pine Butte site improvements. So obviously there's going to be the location for the bus shelter. We've got the new concrete walk that goes down, and we have the new ADA ramps. I have a question for the board or seeking guidance. So we've obviously saw cut and damage, we're going to patch in everything that goes around, our concrete, but there is a lot of alligator pavement throughout the parking lot. It makes sense that if we're bringing in an asphalt contractor and doing asphalt to that level, are there additional items or additional asphalt patching that you would like us to complete? You have options associated with, like a slurry that can be added to existing. You have options of just like a seal coat and paint. You have the option of digging down, doing subgrade reinforcements, putting down filter fabric, and doing all that as well. I mention it because I've just specifically like up in the upper lot, there's some significant cracks over time. In the lower lot, the area that I'm most concerned about would be on the north elevation. The row of parking that would be facing the bus barn itself. That whole row is pretty alligatored. I can give you a cost per square foot and I can investigate. What I owe you as far as the base contract is the areas that are around, where I've cut out to make my concrete forms, and I'll infill that. But I just mention it as an option to do additional asphalt work while we have an asphalt contractor on site. Is that something that interests you or not at this time? What do you guys think?
I don't think it would hurt to get some pricing.
No, not at all.
Would you like to get pricing associated with seal coat and paint, like a slurry finish, or, patching, tabletop areas, throughout the parking lot, that I would just, do a takeoff and say, hey, this much patching? We'd assume we would come in and excavate down 6 inches, fill in with 3 inches of subgrade, or maybe put a piece of filter fabric in that so it would hold, and then pave it with the same, mixed design throughout. What would be your choice of? It's open-ended, right?
Yeah.
It's so hard, but those guys are kind of hard to get, and when you get them, it's better to strike when the iron's hot, and that's
Sure.
why I bring it up, because and I know it's been hot as, all get out, and you've got expansion going on, and cracks are, showing, so. I know that there are funds outside, and it's your decision as far as, the expenditures of those funds. Again, this would be, outside of our existing agreement, and I could propose on a couple different options, but I mentioned it. I don't want to waste my time if it's something that you guys aren't interested in doing.
Give us just the resurfacing, the paint and coating for sure, and then maybe that tabletop, like you said, a few of those areas. Give us pricing on that.
Okay.
I was kind of hoping to get through the majority of these and then look right, get a year underneath us, and then have a look back and go,
Okay.
This was something we probably should address,
They
with-
had during 27.
yeah.
Okay.
Does that
Yeah,
sound
I
about right with
am
you?
not an asphalt expert.
Me either.
So yeah, I'm going to defer to you and Tyler.
But yeah, and then maybe just that, especially that one row, like you said, where most of the staff parks, I believe that's where most of the staff parks, correct? Yeah.
And I think the majority of that row lines up to a sidewalk that runs east-west along that.
Right below where that is.
Correct, right below, running east-west.
Okay, yeah,
Okay, I will do that, and I'll coordinate with Mr. Otremba.
perfect.
Okay. I think that's it. Questions on where things are at? I know there was some, as far as our pay application process seems to be going smoothly. Our subcontractors, have been getting along well. I think we're being good citizens. If you have any complaints, obviously I'm the one throat to choke. So if you see one of my guys doing something they shouldn't, don't hesitate to let me know.
I think it's
Take care of
going,
it, so.
I think it's going quite well, so.
The one thing that I've been deficient on, and I wanted to mention it, and I've been working, I didn't know if Robert was gonna be here tonight, we've got to continue to get water to the lower level practice field. We, kiboshed the upper sprinkler system, like that will have to be replaced. Everything that's in that quadrant up there, that's basically north of the pool, we've had heavy equipment and we've crushed all that. We have capped the main, but we need to figure out the best way of controlling the local control valves. And so I'm working with Robert on getting water to where it needs to, especially now when it's so hot. Temporarily, we've laid hose out there on the lower practice field. We've got that little tractor thing that's going. Hopefully it's starting to throw some water when we need it, but I know it's imperative that we keep that surface playable with all this heat that we have with our limited irrigation capacity. So Robert's brought it up, we're tracking, we're gonna do whatever we can to get that operational.
Okay. I saw you guys out there the other day. I was wondering what you're doing. Then I saw the little tractor, so I was like, yeah, okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any questions?
I think you're doing a great job, Tyler. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. If you have any, don't hesitate to give me a call or let me know. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, with that, we'll move into new business 10.01. Resignations for our information.
I think Morgan's been here for a long time, and she's held several different roles at the schools, and so I appreciate the time that she spent with us.
Thank you, Ms. Kay.
I'm just really sorry we're losing Morgan as a teacher. She was a great teacher. I'd like to see her stay in the community.
10.02.
All right, I'd like to make the recommendations to hire for certified 26-27 staff. Stephanie Crook, K-8 teacher, pending emergency authorization.
Sorry, guys.
Don't do one at a time here.
No, you can go ahead.
Oh, okay. Tilly Hadler, K-8, pending emergency authorization, PBS. To the Broadus, I don't know what's your last name, Sturhira. English 512 teacher, pending emergency authorization, CHS. Kim Hall, K-8, pending her provisional license, PBS. And Mark Norton, English 512, and that's at FBMS. He has a provisional too.
He already has it. Okay. And these are all coming back to us from last year.
Stephanie's student teaching in the fall, Tilly's student teaching in the fall, should be done end of the year. Stephanie should be done sooner, and Taylor's into her second year right now, working on her education degree too, so.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approve the certified hires as presented for the 26-27 school year.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any public comment on this? Any further board? Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Barb?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Yeah, classified 10.03.
all right, one more recommendation for hire for classified staff, custodian is Javan Weber.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approve Javan Weber, custodian for the 26-27 school year.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any public comment on this? Any further board? Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Barb?
Aye.
Aye. 10.04.
Okay,
This
salary,
will take one at a time.
okay, salary recommendations for previously hired administrators, curriculum directors, 78,000, 230 days.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves the curriculum director's 26-27 proposed salary of $78,000.
Will there be any discussion in here before you move?
You would have to have a motion and a second.
Okay.
230 days for the 26-27 school year.
No, second.
Okay, a motion and a second. Any public comment on this? Any further board?
I am not against 2% proposed for these raises and some of the salaries. What is the 2% proposed over and above what was last year's salary for that position?
For curriculum, this is her first year, so that was something that we discussed and offered to her. So it wasn't
Well, there's
necessarily.
2% proposed and the, I'm not against these salaries, but I'm for the teachers. And from what I hear in the community, and I'm not talking to a lot of people because I didn't know who to talk to before I got elected. And after I got elected, I thought I can't talk to the teachers, and I haven't gotten together with the board, but our teachers are left out in the cold. And I think they need a cost of living raise of 3% this year and next year. And without that, we shouldn't be giving our administrators, who already make quite a bit more than teachers, 2% raises. However, can I talk about any of these on here?
You want to take them individually, so now you got to wait till we do them individually. So right now, you can talk about curriculum.
Great.
All right, with that, I'll go to the vote. Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Barb?
Aye.
Aye. High school principal.
All right, I'd like to recommend a salary of $114,964 for high school principal, and it's 230-day contract, was 227.
Scott, is that 2% proposed? Is that just a misheading up there then?
Well, the reason why I put new to the right, that this is a new salary. It should be the 3 below or the 2% increases.
So the bottom
new
three are
ones-
2%.
Yes.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves the high school principal salary of $114,964 for 230 days for the 26-27 school year.
And I'll second.
Okay, a motion and a second. Any public comment on this? Any further board?
Yes, I would like to comment. So I did look up some information on salaries. The one I'm for having is $114,964 for Bart Bailey. I think that's a great salary. Actually, it's the average national principal salary is $115,960. That's kind of odd. The Montana average for principals is $109,486. So good for Bart. I think I'm so for having him for high school principal, and I've talked to him quite a bit, more than anybody. And I try to urge him to do this, this, and this. He's already got this, and this going. So I'm more than impressed, with him. And this is great that Bart, gets the average national principal salary, national. However, at the same time, the national average starting wage for teachers is $48,000. Ours are at 38. For Montana, they start usually at 36,000. So we're a couple thousand above Montana's average. But and we can go up to 59,000. Wait, no. So the national average teacher salary is 74,000, and ours is 59,000, which is the average for Montana. But we're 44th in the nation for paying our teachers.
I think that has a lot to do with our funding mechanism from the state.
Well, I get that, but, so I have friends in Louisiana that I visited that were teachers, and they didn't go with their schools to negotiate. They went to Congress. Even so, we can't, give everybody else or other people 2%, and our teachers don't get a percentage. They've been offered nothing for a while. And they should get a cost of living. They should get a cost of living.
I can't really speak on negotiations, but it's not nothing.
It's something, it's a 1%.
Like I said, our A and B numbers are way down. It's not just the teachers in this district that need something as well.
I know, but our
And
teachers
with-
need to be
like I said,
considered.
I agree.
Teachers are the most important part of our whole business, and this is a business. And
It
teachers.
is a business.
It's a business, yeah. I understand what you're saying for the money, but
Sorry.
we have got to pay our teachers. And that nationwide, they've been not respected. Teachers aren't respected here like they are in Europe. It's different.
I'd like to just kind of speak to that with the Montana School Board Association. I think that's something that we cool for us to be more involved into because they will advocate at the state level for those kinds of things. So we do have some of those resources available to us. Scott and I went to a training in Helena. Was that last month or beginning of this month?
It was, I think, 2 months ago.
I know, I'm like, where are we?
It was early June.
But it really explained, like how Montana doesn't, like how our funding structure doesn't support teachers'
It
tuition.
doesn't.
But they also had the answer as to like, hey, how do we advocate for that? So I think it would be some cool for, you to connect with them and also to just being proactive on that end too, instead of just.
So who takes it up with them? We do, or all school boards are?
Well, they have a collective of the school boards, yeah, and so they're actively working on things like that. I don't have all the details, the ins and outs, but they are really available to talk with people, and so we have contact for her? Yeah, and so I think it would be really cool to like just give a call to too. They had such great presentations, just breaking down our budget, why it is the way it is, and what they plan to do to help bolster that. So it was really informative for me.
But it's hard for the teachers to see other people, administrators, getting a 2% raise, and it's not being.
Well, it was pointed out to me, when I proposed that the administrators don't get a year step when they move down for each year they're here, or any lanes over for any educational type things that teachers do get, so it sounds like maybe more, and we need everybody, you know. I'm just kind of explaining how that came about, since they don't get that. So if you're a teacher, you go down each step, like when I was teaching, if I was my, yeah, and then if you get an education, moving over too. Whereas admin, if we didn't give them something like that, they would not move at all. So,
But our teachers are stuck too. They could get up to 59, but they should get up to 74,000. We're not allowing that. We're not allowing our teachers to go above 59.
Yeah, our matrix goes way above that.
Way above 59.
Okay, I guess these were averages.
I think the last step is what, 78?
It's 78.
Yeah, that's what it should be.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
if you look at our matrix and there's step downs and stuff, we have some quite high salaries for our teachers. So, which really holds us back for those first 1 or 2 year teachers. So,
And I guess with that, I hope our teachers are brought to task this year to teach and not to let the Chromebooks teach. We
Right.
need to have teachers teaching and not being monitors in the classrooms. And we've got to, I don't know if the parents should be down our throats. I don't know if the administrators are going to make that happen, or if we need to make that happen. The teachers need to teach. And that goes along with, but I don't know, I don't know what else to say.
and I can speak on that after the meeting on some of our matrices and some of the other stuff to show you.
Okay.
So, all right. With that though, Francis.
Aye.
Sabrina.
Aye.
Barb,
Is this for principal?
for principal.
Aye.
Aye.
okay, next one, special ed director, $86,844.27, 220-day contract.
Do you want to offer that as a 2% raise or the amount you have
2% raise.
listed there?
That's a 2% raise from her last salary.
Oh, she told me it was not. It's close, but it's not.
Okay?
Okay, is she on?
That was-
Okay.
They put it in a spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet for me, so.
I did the math on my calculator.
It's wrong.
It's wrong. Okay, so we can make a motion for a 2% raise then.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have the exact number too, if you
Yeah.
want it.
Sure.
It's $86,854.47.
Okay. I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves a 2% raise for the SPED director for the 26-27 school year at 220 days.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any public on this? I was gonna say. Any further board?
I am not for her getting a 2% raise until we can assure the teachers that they can get a 2 or 3% raise.
SPED it's not going anywhere. It's getting bigger every year. I am all for this. We keep adding to that list for her. So,
She and Jen always make sure she's fully staffed. Like she goes above and beyond to recruit and get teachers in to fill her department.
Teachers go above and beyond too.
Mhm.
I know.
and as an administrator, she's invaluable to me. So, I'm all for that.
It's not her, it's the principal of the.
Sure, I understand.
Yeah.
All right, with that, Francis.
Aye.
Sabrina.
Aye.
Barb,
You just have to say no or nay.
you can say either one.
No.
Okay, aye. Maintenance director.
Okay, maintenance director, $90,023.98, 260 days,
2%?
percent.
Brittany, 2%.
I wonder.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves the 2% raise for the maintenance director for the 26-27 school year, 260-day contract.
Okay, more second. Any public comment on this? Any further board?
Is this a certified position?
No, this is non-affiliated. Robert's been with us for
16.
16 years. He drives a lot of bus. He does a lot. I think we've finally done him a favor and hired some people to help him. So. All right, Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Barb?
No.
And business manager.
Okay, business manager, 2%, $85,224.67, 260-day contract.
2%. All right. I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves the 2% salary for the business manager for the 26-27 school year, 260-day contract.
One second.
Okay, motion and second. Any public comment on this? Any further board?
As a matter of principle, I would not vote for this either. It's not certified. It's not against the person, but the principle, for the teachers.
Brittany's irreplaceable.
I know.
She's tried to leave us a couple
So are
times.
all the teachers replaceable.
So. Yeah. Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Barb?
No.
Aye. Okay. 10.05.
You want me to just do this as a group as presented? 2% raises for the recommended, for the non-affiliated staff is what's recommended? Or do you guys want me to go through each one of them? Just, okay, as presented, I'd like to recommend 2% raise for all the non-affiliated staff listed below.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves the 2% increase for the non-affiliated staff for the 26-27 school year.
One second.
Okay, motion and second. Any public comment on this? Any further board?
These people need to be paid more than they're getting too. They're getting 3% and then 2%. Good numbers for teachers. So I will support 3% and 2% here. I'm also supporting 3% and 2% for teachers.
The 3% is showing what was done
That was
last
done
year,
last year.
and then the 2% is
Just
this year.
2% this
Yeah.
year. Oh,
Okay.
well.
All right, it can be confusing.
All right. I'll go for it.
Okay. Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Aye. 10.06.
Okay, this is the policy 3141, non-resident student enrollment. We discussed at the work session, June 22nd. And then there's some optional language that was recommended. So if you go to the policy itself, we're striking out every non-resident student who seeks to enroll in the district shall apply for admission for the succeeding school year by the first Friday in April. And the language being recommended is every non-resident student seeking enrollment in the district must apply by the first Friday in April to be considered for priority admission for the succeeding school year. The district will continue accepting applications for consideration until the final deadline of July 1st. Applications will not be accepted after the final deadline of July 1st. So with the priority, there's a better chance of class sizes and those kinds of things, and later they might not be able to get in because of that, but yeah, we're given the option if some people miss it, and that's what we discussed back on the 22nd of June.
And July 1st was because that's when Brittany has to have all of her numbers into OPI for billing purposes for tuition.
But that, I actually go a year behind.
Okay.
So I pull, it looks at the out-of-district kids for last year.
Mhm.
So it actually doesn't really affect my budgeting.
So we could do August 1st?
You can do whatever you guys decide.
We could do later. I stuck with this just because of scheduling purposes and things, but I think if it's not a bulk of students, be registered for classes and that kind of thing and plan, we can look at the numbers to see if, hey, we are gonna get way over and can't get a teacher, those kinds of things.
I still think with the priority of that April, we're gonna fill the bulk of that.
Mhm.
I think moving that, giving May, June, and July, up to July, that kind of helps with those whoops, right?
I would like to do August. I would like to see August 1st.
Okay,
Or how about July 31st?
I know, for I was like, "Oh, July." Same thing.
I just feel like there's, what if someone moves close to the community and wants to get in? And it's
We've
not,
had
gonna-
some of that.
right, and it's not gonna be a ton. And I just,
we always
like
have
to
the
remain
extenuating,
as
the
open as
extenuating
possible.
circumstances that we've always looked at on an individual basis. I don't think we've ever had one that we denied. So,
so, I'd like to extend it to the end of July. Unless anyone can talk me out of it.
I'm not opposed to it, and you want it.
I'm not opposed to it either.
Yeah, I really like the heart behind it to, again, try to serve students and, so, yeah, makes sense to me. As long as it doesn't cause undue hardship on anyone else in our district.
What do the admin think? That's,
It's doable. 1st of August is doable.
okay.
So it's not that, the bulk's earlier.
The
so-
bulk,
yeah,
yeah, we still need to push that they need to get their
Priority deadline.
Their priority deadlines is this April, but there's some things that just take time. And Ms. Blevins, again, I don't know how hard she gets hit. I mean, she's got to do the entire county,
Mhm.
and some of hers is, so it gives her a little bit of time. It gives the district more time too, so.
Chris.
Chris?
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Okay, I was working on it. Sorry, can you hear me okay? Would this go in effect for this year or for next?
I think we can-
25 or 26, 27?
I would like it
I was thinking this year.
this year, yeah.
Sure.
Yes,
Perfect, thank you.
So anybody that would have already been affected, we can relook at their applications. If they got denied based on due date.
yeah.
Okay.
So does this have anything to do with the people that are hired out of district and they want their students to come in?
No, that was separate. We did pass that one already.
That's already in here. Yep.
That's in here, so
Our
there's,
teachers, whether you're live in district or out of district, their students, their children get priority. Because they're in the district.
whether the classes are full or not.
They're part of that priority. We already know. Because those teachers are coming back.
Yeah.
Those kids are coming back. We've never had them not come back.
So does this leave it open for students where there are extenuating circumstances within the family?
Like I said, we've had a few I've had a few over the years with extenuating circumstances, and I've never, I cannot recall ever denying one with extenuating circumstances. I know there was a year when we didn't have administration going through them, and that out of district was pushed off onto other people, and the class sizes were full, especially in the elementary. The elementary is the one that's tough. The high school and the middle school really aren't that tough. We have room, but our elementary fills up fast. And I know what you're talking about, and that was unfortunate, but that did
People
happen.
also went to Mrs. Blevins and she goes, oh, well, they have their numbers.
Uh,
So there's
it is-
really
it
nobody
is-
to appeal
It
to.
is part of our strategic plan.
She sent some back to us before though.
Mhm. She sends them back to us. It's not, we don't get to do that anymore.
What are the ratio of students to teachers in the elementary?
Most of them are pretty full, aren't they?
It's pretty full. We're
Pretty full
running
means what? How many?
Between 15 and 20 to 1 right now, somewhere, which is under the thing, but it's within our strategic plan. Numbers are.
Well, is our strategic plan a little bit too stiff? That's different.
I don't think so.
I
Right
don't
now,
think so either.
right now, the numbers that we looked at today was kindergarten, which is full.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 18 and 18, and that's 2 students away from the state.
Max.
20
And the state is 20.
in kindergarten.
And we always have kids come into the district at the beginning of the school year,
Move in.
move in.
Or even, sometimes even in the middle of the school year. Because we have to leave some room for that.
Plus, it's a lot of kindergarten.
It's a lot of kindergartners. You want teachers to teach. You start putting 25 plus kids in there, then a lot of other stuff comes into
I
play.
get that. But I'm glad to hear you say that there was a faux pas.
Yeah.
Here, that it was very destructive.
Like I said, we didn't have the right people doing it.
No, obviously not at all. Is there any, we don't have somebody to go between lame deer and, what are those called?
Liaisons?
Back in, any thought of getting that back again?
Not right now.
My dad's on the school board over there. Just kidding, if you need any questions.
Yes.
I'm from there.
Just keep in mind with that late deadline that you gotta bring them back to the board meeting for approval at that first August meeting, so. Cutting it close, but doable.
July 31st, is that
July
what you're?
31st will do. Okay,
That should give us our 5 days notice.
yes,
I was just counting up.
okay.
So you're gonna amend that to,
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves the recommended changes to Board Policy 3141, non-student enrollment, as presented, with the addition of a final deadline of July 31st. And this policy will be backdated or go into effect for any student that may have already gotten denied because of due date for this year. Do you want me to keep going? I can make it. And yes, we'll notify the students, right? Anybody who was affected already? Okay, perfect.
I'll second.
okay, motion and second. Any public comment on this?
Thank you.
I think it's a good move. It makes it a little bit tight there at the end, but I think we can do it.
That being said, though, we have to push them on that priority. They can't use this as a,
We're waiting.
especially in the elementary.
Yeah.
I'm not so worried about the middle school or the high school because we're so.
Yeah.
I have my other thoughts on that.
But at that point, like if the classes are full, they're full,
Yeah, they
and
won't get in.
if you wait,
Get in.
yeah,
Having worked in a middle school office and a high school office for quite some time, may I recommend as an outside community member that you advertise it better then? Because putting it on Facebook should not count as getting it out to the community. I do work for St. Bray. The effort that St. Bray makes to get in contact with currently enrolled students and to the community is incredible. We are contacting via personal mail, email, text, personal phone calls, posting in the community, and we did enrollment drives. We are making the effort to get kids into St. Bray. It really felt like, as an outsider, that Colstrip really cut us off at the knees this year. And it has been a very frustrating process. So I really do appreciate you guys revisiting this issue.
Yeah, thanks for your suggestions.
With that, I'll go to the vote. Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Barb?
Aye.
Aye. Uh, 10.07.
Okay, I'd like to recommend that all administrators, excluding the superintendent, receive one additional personal leave day. Currently, there is 3 that they receive up front.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approve changing the administrative contracts from 3 personal leave days per year to 4, starting in the 26-27 school year, for all administrators, excluding the superintendent.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and second. Any public comment on that? Any from the board?
Thank you. Last year I had a wedding, my daughter, and a graduation, my grandson, and it was tight. I ended up driving all night to my grandson's graduation because I didn't have enough PTO, you know. And so I appreciate that opportunity to have that, because we all have growing families and things outside of the school year too. And so,
Well, that's
Thank
not
you.
really very many days. Anyway.
Settle down, Barb. Settle down. You're gonna be in trouble here.
That's not. Is that enough?
The people that requested it asked me for what?
What, he's over here crying. I thought I'd help him out.
All right, with that, I'll go to the vote. Francis,
Aye.
Sabrina,
Aye.
Barb,
Aye.
non-affiliated.
Okay, can't wait to see what happens. All right. Recommending all non-affiliated staff who are eligible, some haven't completed their 70% yet of their contract, that those are eligible would receive one additional personal leave day during the 26-27 school year. So starting with this upcoming year.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves the addition of one personal day of leave to all eligible non-affiliated staff starting in the 26-27 school year.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and second. Any public comment on this? Any further board?
Who's not affiliated?
Like central office,
They don't have any now?
Payroll.
Stephanie.
yeah, staff
So
and
now
kitchen.
they get just one?
No, they,
No, they follow the CBA, the classified CBA, so it's like 1 through 4 years that you're employed here, you get 1. 5 to 9 is 2 days, 10 years to 14 years is, 3 days. So they follow that, but what is being proposed is that they get 1 more on top of that.
Each time.
Not each time, but yes, one
Each year.
more. They don't get 1 this year and then 2 next year and then 3 next year, but yes, 1 more.
When did they get the one more?
this year.
And how many do they have this year?
Anybody who's been here.
Okay,
for more than
Depending on
1 year,
how
so-
long they've been here, yeah.
It gets complicated.
Well, it's kind of being cheap, isn't it? That's not very.
There's also different types of leave, right? Or is it just PTO? Or is there like sick leave?
Just personally.
Just
Okay.
personal is what, yeah, is requested.
They still get vacation and sick.
Yeah,
They still get vacation
Vacation,
sick?
sick.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, that's.
I mean, I'd like to keep them here more, but
I'll never leave.
He's not talking about me.
yeah,
So
Those vehicles
there's,
zero weekend.
there's other types of leave outside of what we're talking about.
Right.
Okay.
yes.
And personal leave doesn't carry over, so if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
So,
With that, Francis.
Aye.
Sabrina.
Aye.
Barb.
Aye.
Aye. And 10.09, transportation route.
Okay, Rich, your turn.
So tomorrow we have the meeting in Foresight for the transportation route, and you're gonna have to help me with this, because you know a little bit more than I do. We're looking at things I need to take are individual contracts. Got that today with our people that we contract to come to school, in Colstrip public schools. The bus routes, and those, we proposed those last time or time before last.
Yep.
The other thing is interdistrict agreements. So we got one interdistrict agreement from Hardin that says we cannot stop and pick up students in Hardin public schools. Haven't heard anything from Busby. We haven't heard anything from Langdale except for rumor, maybe that the last board meeting, they voted on whether to open the border to us to pick up students or not. It was a tied vote, I guess, according to whatever.
That was-
So it was
I
tabled.
called.
So
Yeah.
I know Mr. Tremba called, and what did you find out?
Just that, I was told it was a tie vote on their board and their superintendent's gonna get a hold of me. But I emailed her June 29th, never heard. And then when I called last week, was told the vote was tied. Their board chair then was asked to get a hold of me, or they got all my contact information, and I haven't heard anything since.
So in addition to what we received last time, we had to amend the Langdale route, for the possibility that we can't go to Money and to Guy and all those places to pick up students. And that's this, I don't know if it's in the board docs, I think it is. If the border stays closed. That makes sense?
But you can go to where just living side,
I'm sorry?
by the FBI building center. You can go.
No, you
Right
can't.
now, we can't
Can't
pick
go on
up
the border.
students.
We can go to Ashland.
Yes.
Yes.
We can't stop in there.
When did that come about? Now that you can't stop.
It comes about every year.
Last year they denied us for a couple of months and then they let us back in. So it just depends. They have to give us permission to pick up students in their district.
How is it right now then?
Right now, we can't pick up.
We don't know because they had a type vote.
think we have a meeting tomorrow night, don't we? Isn't it?
Your dad's on.
I know, I was like, I know. I'll ask her. No, but, you know, last year though, they had a lot of community come forward and say, hey, you guys need a little more, so I think that would happen again if they. decide not to.
Terry?
So I looked at the agenda for the Lame Deer meeting tomorrow night, and it is not on there. So if it's something that they are going to vote on, it's going to have to be at a later meeting.
Okay.
It doesn't change our Ashland route at all because we're allowed to, you know, none of that is tribal land, but it does make it so that we can't go any further, much further than like Sabrina's or from the Nyman place. And we would just basically go up and pick up the kids that we pick up in district, turn around and come right back.
Yep. Okay, thank you. Keep them both, that's all I can tell you.
We're gonna post this after this meeting tonight or tomorrow, so everybody's aware of, as of today, this is what the bus routes look like. And when we hear something different, we'll go back to what we presented, what the route was last year.
And I think that the last time I was at that meeting with Ms. Blevins and the rest of them, we had them both, and she was just like, yeah, well, it's what it is.
Approve all of them just in case.
Mhm.
Well, and there might be some people there I can talk to kind of see kind of what the situation is.
Right. So,
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approve the transportation routes for 26-27 school year as presented.
I will second.
okay, motion and a second. Any public comment on this? Any for the board? Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Barb?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, with that,